Chapter 32. Before he had a chance to contact Tara's family with an answer, the attacks began. A phone call from John, who by now almost never called him. He could hear the fear in her voice through the phone. TSA had come by, which in itself was not a big deal. It was expected. But in this case, TSA shut down everything. They took all the files on the computers, in effect putting the company out of business for what they called a 6 to 8 month investigation. This was almost never done, and only then if there was a high security risk. To make sure that the company did not try to continue operation, in this case they sent a letter to all of Joe's company clients informing them of the potential security risk and not to do business with the company until further notice. Why would anyone in their right mind do business with a company that TSA treated this way? It is not as if Joe's company had a monopoly on the courier business. They began to build a good reputation for being on time and efficient. Further, if there was a problem, the service was free, even if the driver broke down. If the delivery was late, it was half price. If the delivery was more than 2 hours late, it was free, unless it was delivery over 2 hours. With this happening, it would make more sense to just find someone else, even if the company was cleared somewhere down the line. But Joe was not worried. He had reserves. If needed, he could pay John to sit in the office all day doing nothing, even for 6 months. The bank called next to inform Joe that all of his personal accounts were frozen by an IRS audit. When he called the IRS, he was further informed that they were moving to seize his personal properties, which included the building that the company was located in, but under Florida law did not include his personal home. Overnight, everything was gone or locked up so tight it would be months before they would be available again. The only bright side was the fact that Joe realized he had done nothing wrong and that eventually their efforts would fail. But now it weighed heavily on his mind, at least now, as his lawyer. I had something to work with. I moved to get an injunction to free up funds frozen by the IRS. This was normally done in the case of criminal actions and there was a fear of flight. They had not even bothered to tell my client what the charges were. I also petitioned the courts to have them explain why this action was taken without a hearing of any kind where my client could defend himself. I got a court order to free the money, but I asked Joe to forego touching the money unless there was an extreme emergency. I felt it would look better to the court if it did not seem like Joe was draining the accounts. For legal purposes, this looked better. But from a practical standpoint, Joe was in the same financial position as if the money was frozen, except for emergencies. Tara called just to say hello and see how he was doing. Joe tried to cut the conversation short, feeling he would take his frustrations out on Tara, but Tara kept asking what was wrong. You are. You and your family are trying to destroy me, but you will fail. I know that you are not personally involved in this, but neither have you offered to intervene. You tell me what they are demanding, nothing about what you said in response. Did you even try to stop them from coming after me? Joe asked. Complete silence. I did speak to them, and it became abundantly clear that they had no idea how to do anything, even if they wanted to, Tara said. So not only won't you come to my defense, you come to their defense by implying that they have no knowledge of what happened to me in the last 24 hours. In fact, you say they are too incompetent to have done this even if they wanted to, Joe asked. Tara was in tears by this point. Joe realized that he had been yelling. He wanted to say he was sorry, but the words never came. Click, and Tara was gone. Joe was too mad to call her back. He had to figure out a way to survive until this thing was over. He had no income. All his funds were frozen figuratively. The brother and sister who could afford to give him a loan had a strict policy against it. So much so that they from time to time asked to borrow outlandish amounts of money so that they can point to that when they say no to giving a loan to other family members. Joe had a similar policy, the difference being that if he could afford it, he simply gave them money and asked that they help another family member in time of need, and that would pay it back. Joe decided to go to the family members he had given money to and ask for their help. Most could not afford to. Others could only offer a loan. One wanted interest on the loan. It was Friday evening and Joe decided to go to the lake for the weekend, just to get away for a while, and he knew the fridge was well stocked. He went out on the lake and spent the night there. He was awakened the next morning with a call from Sharon, Alex's wife. Joe had not heard from her in quite a while. He wondered if she had the house wired on remote cameras to let her know when he came by the lake house. She had no idea where he was. She was calling to warn Joe that Alex's father was out to get anyone he felt profited from knowing his son. She said he was trying to take the late property from her, but she was allowing the lawyers to fight it out. She told him that Alex's father had mentioned Joe by name several times as someone who needed to pay for using his son. She said the only reason he held off this long was to get a legacy in place for Alex, his dream. Now that he had that in place, he planned to go after anyone he felt used his son. That included Joe. Joe thanked her for the warning and hung up. It was at that very moment that he realized that Alex's father would have the connection to make what happened to him happen. He was not sure, although Tara was, if Tara's family had the fool. He was pretty sure the mayor did. He was also pretty sure he wouldn't lie about it.